Jai Gurudev, everybody, welcome back. So, there's not much really happening today. Every day is becoming the same. And, well, the weather is nice, but still very fresh and cold. So, we'll go directly on the question.
Dear Guruji, what is the proper spiritual understanding of diseases and physical pain? So many people search for cures or beg God to heal them. Is this right, or is the real point to accept?
Well, you see, the natural state of somebody is firstly to look for the cure for it. When you have pain, you have certain diseases. It's a natural state of somebody to look for the cure for it. If otherwise, would you bear the pain? Yes, we can say yes, accept the pain, but do you feel comfortable or enjoying the pain? Well, there's some people who enjoy pain in life, but I don't think, anybody in life really like to be in pain or being unhappy. Because you see, when you have pain, your natural being will be unhappy. So when you're unhappy, do you think you can say, yes, you're enjoying everything? Are you enjoying life? No, you doesn't. You don't feel happy. Nothing, even the most happiest thing and most joyful thing will not appear to be happy for you. So it is natural that when you are in pain, you seek help to get rid of that pain or diseases. There's nothing wrong into that. Through centuries, we even have gods and deities, and saints, and who are great medical helpers. The Lord Dhanvantri, for example, which is an incarnation of the Lord himself, he brought his Lord of medicine, Lord of herbs, who, in a way, it shows that really, if we want to be free, we must really look after ourselves. So when we want to be happy, truly, we can't be happy when we are in pain. No? Those who have transcended that, yes, of course, they can find true happiness, in their true aspect. And like I was saying a few days ago, Ramana Maharishi, who was very much in pain, but yet he realized that he is a great witness inside, which is witnessing life in the outside. But not everybody is Ramana Maharishi. So it is normal that you seek advice, you seek help of the doctors, knowing that God is helping you also through them. So if you can accept, I'm coming to that question now, if you can accept the pain, and learn from it, then you're very strong. You should do it. Then, like Ramana Maharshi, you can be the witness and really experience it and go beyond that, not attached to the outside. But how long would you hold upon that? So be reasonable and use your logic a little bit. God have given you also a brain. You have given also this brain for others to be able to help you. So why torturing yourself? Often it happens. For me, I don't like really to take medicine. But sometimes, you wake up in the morning, you have a terrible headache. Of course, you say, okay, it will go away, but yet it carry on throughout the day, and become intense and intense. Finally, I said, okay, I'll just take a pill. Take a paracetamol or whatever, and you have relief quickly. So why we have to torture ourselves, from whole day to at the end you say, okay, yes, finally I take that medicine. I could have just said, did I take the medicine already in the morning when I feel the headache? Then I will have a whole day free of headache. So like that also, you see, if you feel like you can accept the pain which you're going through, and if you're a great enjoyer of pain, that is your choice in life, actually. But I don't know if anybody is really happy to be in pain, So that is up to you. And also one thing is that either or, you see, whatever it is, the illness or the pain that you're going through, of course it is a point of looking at what it is teaching us also. It is teaching us also to discover, why am I having that also? But we can also discover it without being in pain. So the pain came, for what reason it came. So you have to watch also how you have been eating, how is your way of thinking, because all this is major fact of most diseases. Our mind especially, which is preoccupied with so many things. So we think that when we go, we sit down, nowadays you see nobody can go out, but the media is filling everybody with so much negativity. So you're filling your mind continuously with negative things. So do you think what will come out as an outcome of that will be positive? No, it will not be positive. It will be negative. So, and that negativity reflect upon, firstly, upon your physical body itself. And we will reflect upon the weakest point in your body. So when we watch and listen to negative things, it reacts upon our brain. And of course, we take it throughout the day, all these things, we're absorbing from left, right, we listen, we calculate, we think how it is and all these things. What's happening to our mind? Our mind have to process it. It is said that our mind can process 100,000 thoughts per day. That means the mind also, when you're sleeping, your mind is still processing what you have received, what you have collected throughout your senses, throughout your eyes, throughout what you have here, and what you have eaten and whatever. So all this, when it overloaded, what happened? When your mind is overloaded, it have to react somewhere. So then it is focus and bring it to a certain place, where is your weak point. So upon that, when that weak point inside of your body start to react, you start to think, you start to panic, you start to take time for yourself. This is where the body is asking you, now it's time to rest, There were once, in Mauritius actually, there were one man, at that time there were no devotee or anything, one man who came to me. He used to come often actually. But he was a very hard-working person, young actually, but very hard-working person. So I remember once I told him, listen, you're working too much. You should really slow down and also relax a little bit. And of course, you see, when you tell somebody something like that, people who are busy, they don't like to hear that, Of course, they hear it, but they don't listen. And a few days later, he had a heart stroke. He didn't have a heart attack, he had a heart stroke, and he had to be brought to the hospital, and then the doctor said to him, listen, your heart is too much pressure upon you. And this is the thing that I had told him before, but he didn't listen. But when they come from the doctor of course, because of the title, they listen. So, you see, you have to learn to listen also to your body. You have to learn to observe your body. What is your body telling you? So when you learn to listen what your body is telling you, then you can really know what to change. Especially what that taught us is what kind of food we eat. Nowadays, you see, because of the closed down everywhere, lockdown everywhere, everybody is eating just junk food. All frozen things, all canned things. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, 8, 9, 10, he gave these three kind of food, sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic food. So that you see, react upon one physical aspect also. This is what we are eating, and with attitude we are eating the food also. Because the food, even we don't take it big things. We think, okay, yes, it's just food. Let's eat and fill the stomach. That's it. That's what many people think about. But do you see that attitude of eating the food also is very important. That's why when devotees eat the food, they first offer the food to the Lord. By doing the food prayer. By offering the food prayer, the food becomes prasad, which is offering to the Lord. Then the devotee knows that whatever they are eating a prasad. And this prasad have a certain energy into it. Your mind have focus upon that, and you perceive that there is a certain change inside of you. The prasad is not the same kind as food that people are eating. So that all these things come to our health also. We take care of our health, we take care of our body, which is the temple of God. Then we can happily take care also of our spiritual path. Because you see, if we have pain in ourself, in our body I'm talking about right now, not in the self, now, we can't really concentrate on our sadhana. We can't really concentrate on our japa. We can't concentrate on our meditation, because we are full focused on the pain. So look after your body, and look after, firstly, of feeding the right thing to your mind, which is very, very important. So.
Dear Guruji, is the feeling of competition a positive quality that helps us advance on the spiritual path, or is it connected to envy and therefore considered negative?
Well, competition, you see, when we talk about competition, we have to have the same level, standard, no? So you compete with somebody which is on the same level as you. So if you have somebody which is in the same level as you, then you can do competition. Because you see, one thing is, first I will say, any kind of competition between the devotees is it's a negative things. But at the same time, I will say it is an impulsion of pushing one forward. Because you see, if somebody can inspire you, let's say you feel competitive towards somebody, of course there is a little bit of jealousy there, You want to be in that place and you want to reach to that level. But you see, one thing, this kind of jealousy is not a bad jealousy, because that kind of jealousy can also inspire you to awake, to move more forward. And then it is not a competition. It becomes like a inspiration from the other person. If they inspired you into that way, it will always push you forward. But if you feel that, okay, I'm jealous, but yet you feel an anger inside of you, you don't feel an inspiration inside of you, then it is not good. then you should really transform the way you are perceiving things, because envy and jealousy will come, and then the result of that will be anger. When you become angry, then you want to fight. So when you're fighting, there is no end to fight, because you will say something, the other person will say something, and it will be like a ping pong, bang, 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 bang. And there will be never really an understanding. So the best way is to be inspired by others. If you see that somebody have something which you can profit from that to advance on your spiritual path, take that as an inspiration and move forward. Take that as an example itself, So that will help you much more on your spiritual path than just say, I'm jealous and that that person is like this and like that. So inspiration can be everywhere, and in anyone. It's just that you have to learn to see the positive in things. I think if you see the positive in things, then it can really inspire you. Everything can inspire you actually. Even in a discussion like this, you see, that you perceive that you have envy and jealousy, and then you start to look at this envy and jealousy. Why do you feel you envy somebody, envious towards someone? Why do you feel jealousy towards someone? Because there is a push inside of you to become better. If that person is better, of course, it is actually an inspiration. That's why you feel jealous about it. So why they can, I can't. That means you can try your best to become better. So when you try your best to become better, then it becomes inspiration inside of you. It pushes you forward to move and become better in yourself. So that's why, when you talk about being in competition, I said competition, one must be on the same level. You can't have competition when one is higher and one is lower like that. What competition would you have? It will never happen. So you have to be on the same level. That means when you see that this person, let's say something is making you jealous or somebody is making you jealous, raise to that, Be inspired by him. Then you will see that there is no need for competition. It's just that you have to be inspired to reach to that level. Yeah.
Many stories tell of asuras chanting the divine names for thousands of years to receive a boon. Why doesn't chanting purify them and transform their demonic qualities?
It's true. You see, like we said, chanting of divine name, free oneself. But you see, one thing is that the asuras have an aim. They are chanting because they want something. They don't want Bhagwan. You see, when a devotee is chanting, the devotee is fully absorbed in service to the Lord himself. No? So they are not doing chanting, said, okay, I want something from him. That's why I'm chanting. There is many people like that. Forget about the asuras now, but there is many people in the world that they do chant, but they chant for something, like they have a certain, agenda behind, they want something from God, So when they want something from God, they will say, okay, they will go to this priest or this sadhu, this saint, they will say, please give me a mantra. I want to have a child. Please give me a mantra. I want to become rich. Give me a mantra. I want to have a good job. Give me a mantra for it. Very often you find people like that. They go around and asking for mantras, And of course, they have the faith that the mantra will fulfill their needs. So they will chant this mantra a certain time. They will chant the mantra for a certain period of time or certain numbers, so that they get what they want. Their aim is to get what they are asking. So they're praying, they're chanting for that specific aim. So the same with the asuras. They are chanting the divine names, they're chanting the mantra, but for a specific aim. For them, their aim is something, I want to be powerful. Let's say you take Hiranyakashipu, he asked Brahmaji, I want to be immortal. Brahmaji said, well, the essence is immortal, but to be physically immortal had been given to the devas. But yet he asked, I can't be killed by any animal or man or devas. I can't be killed inside, outside, up, down, and so much. But you see, these asuras, they have also a specific aim, So they wanted to become powerful only to show their arrogance. Like people very often, you see, the asuric qualities, they become very rich and they show their power. The power of control, they think that the billion that they have, they can control everything, and they can do whatever they want, But this is just the same as these asuras who show their power. Their aim is only that. So if their aim is only that, they can't be purified. So, but when we look at these asuras, we can say, yes, in one way, they can't be purified. In a way, yes, they are purified indirectly. Because it's Bhagwan himself who come down to liberate them. It's funny, Bhagwan leave Vaikuntha and come down, incarnate, so to free them. So in a way, their aim is also not bad, but actually you should not take them as an example, because their aim is only limited by name, fame, and power, So that brings them to the end. So a devotee, when they chant, when they are praying, they are doing the sadhana, like we said, if you consider yourself a devotee, whatever you do is for the pleasure of the Lord. You're chanting the name, not because for you, you're chanting the name so that He can reveal Himself to you. The gopis' mind was so much absorbed in the remembrance of Lord Krishna. Whatever they were doing, it was only Krishna. So for them, their aim is Krishna. So what is your aim? This is important. Your aim, as being a devotee, must be the lotus feet of the Lord, nothing else. So if it is something material, of course, that you will get that material things. But Krishna said, those who surrender to me, I look after them. So if you have Him being the source of everything, they, with a clear mind, you will achieve to that state also. So the asuras, when they were chanting, of course, their chanting is sincere. That's why you see that even when they are chanting for Lord Shiva, Bhasmasur, for example, Lord Shiva came. That means there is complete sincereness in their asking. You see, if there were no complete sincereness in their asking, they were not single-pointed in their asking, do you think Lord Shiva will come? No, he will not. Many tests have been given, but yet they stand strong. The same thing with all the asuras, Ravana didn't have, there's so beautiful one verse in the Ramayana where, Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, after Ravana have kidnapped Sita and brought Sita to Lanka. Of course, he wanted to have Sita as his wife. So Mandodari said to Ravana, listen, you are trying your best to impress Sita. Why you don't just take the appearance of Ram and go to Sita? At that moment, Ravan get furious and said, you fool, how can you say such things? How can I, by my, Mayavic power, take a form which even the Devas and even Lord Shiva, even by thinking about him, is in bliss. How can you tell me to take such a form that even my mind, even when I think about him, even in an angry way, when I think about him, I feel such a bliss inside of me. So imagine this comes from the word, from the mouth of Ravana himself. Imagine his mindset, his mind even being so obsessed, about Ram. In his mind was only Ram, nothing else. That's why before, when he was dying, he said, I'm blessed to die at your lotus feet, So even these asuras, when we look, when they were dying, they all died. Hiranyakashipu died, the Supreme Lord himself came out to liberate him. All these asuras, they died looking at Lord Krishna. All the demons who when Krishna was young, he liberated them. Even Ravana, So like that, their aim when they are meditating upon, of course it is for a power, but behind that aim, they know deep inside of them that the Lord himself have to come and liberate them. So they are liberated completely by the touch of him. So deep inside of them, they do recognize, when they were chanting, they aim for something, they do recognize that whatever they're doing is to attain the feet of Srimad Narayana himself. But Srimad Narayana himself will come. So if they could do that, imagine a devotee which is centered into that remembrance and into absorption of that mind upon the Supreme Lord, what kind of transformation is happening to your soul. So,
what is the essence of service, and when do we know that we are truly serving the Master? For example, can two people perform the same puja, but one is in service and the other one is not?
Well, it's an attitude of serving. You can have 100 people doing the same thing, but with the same attitude that they are serving the Master. So, what is in your mind while you are serving? Earlier we were talking about competition. So while you are serving, there should not be any competition. You should serve wholeheartedly. And it can be 100, 200 people serving the same thing, even when you are doing puja together. So the attitude, nobody knows what is in the mind of each one. So according to what you are doing outside as service is one thing, but what truly is the service, what you are rendering, is wholeheartedly, that is true service. And of course, that true service is known only to the Master and God. So Guru and God, when you have in your mind, whatever service, how many people are doing the service, the attitude of serving must be there. Otherwise, it's of no use, It's of no use you are serving, but yet the attitude is different, Or you are feeling, this one is better than me, he's doing better than me. No, you can be better. Also, just learn it and do it properly. So, in which attitude you are serving That is the most important thing. So it's not a competition, how many people are serving. Actually, each devotee, when we are talking about service, we are here, everyone as serving, we are here as servant to the Supreme Lord, We have to remember that. We are here to serve, we are here to spread His light, to spread His love and His teaching to everybody. And when you do that with love, we do that with really great happiness to serve it. If you don't feel pressure that, yes, I want to bring that to somebody else, I want to serve, then everything can be service. Your life itself can be service. Every moment of your life can be a service to the feet of the Guru and God. So, whenever you're serving, bear in mind where your mind is and what really is the aim, to whom you're serving. If you're serving, all of you are serving the Master, just enjoy that service, That's what you have to do. You enjoy the serving, to the Master. But when you forget about that you are serving the Master, then the ego will take over. Then pride arises, So when ego and pride come together, then you become a very angry person. Then you can't serve. So bear in mind, when you're serving, the service must be out of love. And of course, engage everyone to serve, And because this is what makes really the greatest joy, in yourself and in others, and also by making other people happy, you can really make God happy. So bear that in mind, that service is with love. Cool. Jai Gurudev.